Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Leach, and today I am going to talk to you about the single paragraph outline. So our objective today, we're going to look at, this is what the state asks us to do. So it says the student is expected to plan a first draft by selecting a genre appropriate for a particular topic, purpose, and audience, using a range of strategies such as discussion, background reading, and personal interests. So our SPO, our single paragraph outline, is going to be how we plan. And before we start filling out our outline, we're going to think about the genre, what our topic is, why we're writing, what our purpose is, and who our audience is going to be. So you have already taken apart this prompt, but I just wanted to let you see it again. And so we've got our quote, we've got our think statement, and then it tells us what to write about. So this is how I filled out my little thing, and I'm sure y'all filled this out with your teacher already. So my name is Catherine, and we're going to pretend this is December 2nd. I don't know what it's really November 17th, guys, but I'm thinking you're doing this after Thanksgiving. So summarize the quote in your own words. I said, never give up. When something gets in your way, figure out how to get past it to get what you want. And for the think, what related ideas come to mind when you read the think statement? So I think about all the times I've had something get in my way. And then I also think about people who are already successful and the problems that they would have had to deal with to get there. And then what is the prompt asking us to write about? The prompt is asking me to write about why it's important to keep trying and never give up. So when I kind of thought through my ELFs or helps, you might do helps at your school, but ELFs is experience, like my personal experiences, literary, which is books or movies, anything like that, and then famous is just with famous people. My first ELF is famous person, Rachel Carson. So we watched the Brain Pop video and we did our sentence expansion about Rachel Carson, and we know that she didn't give up on helping animals even though things got tough. And then my second ELF was literary. So my class, we read The Low Cuts, and your class might have read that too. And they didn't give up on getting the ice cream for the one kid's mom. So it kind of got hard, but they kept going. So I'm going to go back to our objective. We're planning our draft by selecting a genre for our topic, purpose, and audience. And so now we have to think about what the genre is that we should be writing in, what the topic is, what our purpose is, and who our audience is going to be. So our genre, I know it's expository or informational because it said that right on the prompt. Sometimes we have choice about what kinds of things, like if we want to write a poem or if we want to write a short story, but this prompt told me that I should write an expository essay. So that's my genre, they told me. My topic is why it's important to never give up, right? That's what I'm going to write about. The purpose is to explain, right? I'm going to explain why it's important to never give up. And my audience, well, guys, for this one, we know it's teachers, right? We're writing for a star prompt. We know some teacher somewhere is going to read this essay and they're going to grade it. And sometimes that's life. Okay, so we're back. And I'm going to choose to write about Rachel Carson. I'm only going to do one paragraph for this one, guys. I know you might not all have read The Low Cuts, but hopefully you all did the Rachel Carson stuff that was in Google Classroom. So we watched that Brain Pop video about Rachel Carson. So I'm just going to look at these for a minute to try and remember what happened in that Brain Pop video and the other video, and just sort of try and remember. So if you are in class right now, it may be a good time to pause the video and turn and talk to someone near you. What do you remember about Rachel Carson? And I'm going to say it would probably even be okay to go back and look at your notes, or to even watch the Brain Pop video again if you want to. So your teacher may tell you to do something else, but I'm just saying I'd probably pause and look it up. So if you're going to pause, do it now, and then we'll start back up. Okay, hopefully you turned and talked with someone about what you remember about Rachel Carson, or possibly even rewatched the video or looked over your notes. So I brainstormed everything that I could remember from watching the video, and I watched it a couple days ago, and just to be totally honest, I didn't watch it again right now, so this is just kind of what I remembered. But I remembered that she wrote books, she went to school to study science, she lived a long time ago, she wrote about science. There was that DDT pesticide that was killing, they used it to kill mosquitoes, and it was like a really good thing because it was helping cure malaria. But then Rachel Carson noticed like that birds were dying, and she wrote a book about it and about how DDT was killing animals and making other people sick. She was on a radio show about the ocean and wrote books about the ocean. And then after she wrote her one book about the pesticides, those chemical companies got mad and they called her a spy, and they said she was just a cat lady and like made fun of her. But then she talked to the government, she testified before Congress, and she died, I think. But after she died, the Environmental Protection Agency was formed and DDT got banned. And so as a result, animals and people were a lot safer and healthier. So those were kind of the things that I remembered. Hopefully your list had a lot of these things on it as well. Your list might have had more stuff on it. Again, I did not rewatch the video, so I might have missed some things. That's okay. So thinking about my prompt where it said, why is it important to never give up? I kind of thought about like, what was it she was trying to do? Like, what was she not giving up on? What obstacles were in her way? Like, what was the problem? How did she get through the obstacles or past the obstacles? And then what happened as a result? So trying to think about that prompt. Then I think about which details match up with the topic. Our topic is never giving up. So I highlighted the ones that I thought matched, because like, it's interesting that she did her radio show about the ocean and wrote books about the ocean, but that doesn't really have anything to do with not giving up, right? And the first 4 bullets that are not highlighted, those are things about her, like personal things that I might use at some point, but they're not about the not giving up, because the thing she didn't give up on was trying to protect animals. And so those are the things that are like the most useful details. So with a single paragraph outline, the top where it says TS, that's our topic sentence. And so my topic sentence is just answering that prompt. Rachel Carson made the world better because she never gave up, right? Like, our whole thing is about why it's important to never give up. So I'm just telling you straight out of the gate, she made the world better because she never gave up. So now these dotted lines that are numbered, I'm going to put one detail just as notes. I'm not going to do complete sentences this second, because what we'll do afterwards is sentence expansion, right? Just like we've been doing when we read somebody else's stuff and we expand the sentences. Now we're going to write our own little kernel sentences or our own little notes, and then we'll expand them later. So the first detail is I'm just going to put that she noticed the birds were dying, right? So this is her starting to figure out what her problem is that she's going to try to solve. Then the next detail, she wrote a book about why the birds were dying. And then the chemical companies got mad. They were mean. They called her a cat lady and a spy. And then even though they were doing all that bad stuff to her, she didn't give up, and she testified to Congress, and the Environmental Protection Agency got passed later. Then our concluding sentence, I try to do a different sentence type for the concluding sentence than the topic sentence, just for variety. So since I did a declarative sentence for my topic sentence, I'm going to do a question for my concluding sentence. You don't have to do a question for the concluding sentence. I just thought it would be fun. So if Rachel Carson had given up, how would our world be different? And so now I have my single paragraph outline. I got there by thinking about what the prompt was asking me to do, brainstorming everything I knew about my example person, going through the details to figure out which ones would help me talk about my topic and which ones wouldn't. And then I wrote a topic sentence, filled in my details in the order I wanted them, but I didn't worry about complete sentences yet. And then I did my concluding sentence. So our next step, our next video will be about that sentence expansion. But for the outline, that's as much as we need. So I hope this helped, guys. I'm only doing this one. The next one I'm going to ask you to do, or your class to do. So I'll see you later. Bye.